Hey everyone, a nerd named Mark here. My cats are just acting up as I hit start record, so that's fun. It's time to go over episode 28 of Kamen Rider Geats. Honestly, I enjoyed this episode. Yeah, we got plot armor, we got some unresolved issues that I assume aren't going to be brought back up now with Ace, but I am glad that this, at least one plot overall arc that's been going on is kind of finished, I guess, with Jean. So maybe we can focus on Kawa and Neon again because, man, I bring it up because that's how the episode started. We got Ace literally and figuratively about to bite the bullet, but then Tycoon makes a save with the twin command form, and I'm just like, one, where did he get that all of a sudden? Two, how did he charge up the sword for that form? And I'm like, you know what? It's just like Buffa had Twin Command 2 episodes ago, and then nothing came from it. Then he showed up with zombie form. Uh, later on this episode, again the forms I don't understand, like buckle inventory, um, how they're keeping like I don't understand. But the main focus of this episode was Gene, his character growth, his change, his realization, and everything between him and Ace, and then some other plot points that I'll get to. One of the cool things is Gene, because he got his ass beat. He's laid up in the bed inside of the lounge area, and Ace, um, comes in, starts talking to him, and we find out that the reason why Gene is so injured is because he has to follow the rules of any of the eras they jump to. And, you know, Ace is even like, so you came to this era to like taste this thrill of mortality? Like, because we get a call back to the Oni episode with a little kid where, Gene is pointing out that everything's predetermined. They don't fear or really do anything when it comes to death. The blueprint is already there. And the whole time I'm like, man, this is the most grounded and unfanboyish and outlandish we've gotten Gene, and I kind of dig it. It's working for me. It really is. Um, and like another thing that really I thought was cool, um, because he's realizing that feeling of agony and the fact that one could lose their life so quickly, and he realized it when he was laid out and about to witness Ace being killed. So him coming to realization of mortality and this that, like, it was really good. It was really good storytelling and good character growth for Gene. But the one thing that we finally got an answer about, since we've seen from promo videos and the first episode, that damn Greek coin. We find out the coin is actually from that era, one of his reincarnations from like 2,000 years ago, and that's the era where his mom left him. So Ace knew this whole entire time, the last 28 episodes, so that he's been retaining his memories from his past life. He's known this. He's obviously kept it from everyone, um, and he also, yeah, it's he seems and found it odd that like he always got named one way or another, some form of Ace, and like also that he keeps finding in odd ways and coincidental. He finds the coin in every reincarnation. Would see him as a little kid find it on the ground and pick it up, and it's like, well then, um, okay. Uh, the cool thing is the little spider phone thing showed up, and it was broadcasting their private conversation to Kekra and Kawa in their little lounge pocket dimension, and then we saw Neon with her little Ghost Rider freaking uh, tablet talking to Kuhn, who was also watching on. So now they all know that keeps being reincarnated and everything else. So this will be intriguing if they confront him about it or that's that. Because let's face it, we haven't really gotten much interaction with K1 Nan with Ace. Last episode was Gene just constantly questioning them or them waking up Ace from nap time. But I'm my main thing is I'm hoping this Jamato Grand Prix arc or whatever's going on ends so we can get back to some character development for our other riders. I need more from these characters because the Ace stuff, it being so heavily focused on Ace and Jean, has kind of been lackluster, except for like the action sequences in this episode, I will say. So the big reveal to why he is searching for his mother, it's not because he misses his mommy. It's not at all. He wants to find out why he keeps living this life over and over each time he's reincarnated. And I'm like, okay. So really he just wants to figure out what his existence is. What's the point? Which is better than my mom went missing. I want to find her. There was one line where Gene and Ace were talking about death and this and that, and he's like, I can understand. He's like, you living these lives over and over again and constantly dying, and Gene starts feeling bad for him. But then Ace says this one line. He's like, I've had my fair share of misery. Death's a norm at this point. And I was like, damn. Like, he's not even scared, fearful of death. He's used to it because he keeps experiencing death over and over again. And Gene starts crying. And he doesn't actually understand why. Like, tears are going down his face. He doesn't know because he's never seen tears before. He's familiar with the concept of tears. And even says people in the past are equipped with tear ducts. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? So in the future, you don't have tear ducts? I'm like, do you have pores either? I want to know what the hell these future people look like, honestly. Like, is it like an iRobot situation? Or the island? I know it's weird, but that was cloning, less, that stuff. But I don't know what it is whenever someone cries. I instantly go back to, I believe it was the 80s, early 90s. The only thing missing from the scene is some rain, because then I could play the best song ever from Ernest Goes to Camp. Gee, I'm glad it's raining. I'm going to put a clip right here of it, because it's a perfect song.
I'm awfully glad it's raining, 'cause no one sees your teardrops when it pours.
I mean, how can you not like that song? How can you not like the song? Jim Varney was a national treasure. Underappreciated, underrated, freaking, you don't understand. Like, I'll do a podcast episode about it because this is time for Geats. But Ernest, whew, you don't understand. I have the complete DVD set, okay, and the TV show stuff, and the commercials. But going back to this, there's this is the depth of the character I wanted from Gene, because all of his creepy fanboy tendencies and everything else, like, it was stale and one-dimensional. But seeing all this, I was like, yo, this was good. I like this. And then the JGP started, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I forgot. So this time, all our participants in Nerum this time, they're like, we're taking the fight to the Jamato. And all the civilian fighting and the sword clashing, that all looked great. But the JGP itself as a whole has been very dull for me. Very uninteresting, to say the least. Because I brought it up. Kawa had the twin command in the beginning of the episode. Made the save for Ace. Good job. Now he doesn't have it. He has the ninja buckle and he's using it. It's just like Buffa, like I said. And then Nan has the fever buckle. And I'm like, when the hell did she get the fever buckle? I thought these were like mission rewards and this and that. They aren't doing anything to clear missions because they're not really being shown at all doing anything. And I was like, you know what? I don't get it. Same with Ace. He uses him and Niram are like, oh, we're gonna get there quickly. I'm gonna cut away through, and he uses the power build form, and I still don't like that form. I just don't like it. It's bulky and it's not appealing to me. But where the hell did he get that buckle? We find out Baroba set a trap for Geats and trapped him and knocked him back into entry form. I was like, you can get knocked to entry form and not dehension? Just okay. Obviously Boost Mark II, let's face it. OP, don't know power scaling, slaps around Glare 2 like crazy, except for Ace gets sleepy and falls over. One of the cooler scenes, yeah, awkward in some instances, Baroba's about to go in for the final kill. Again, Gene comes in with that heat, but he goes up to Ace. It literally revolves the Boost Mark II for him and attaches his laser Ryzenizer. And Ace stands up all slowly and this and that. We get our newest form the laser boost form, which honestly I like it. It looks a lot better in the show and in action than it did in the magazine scans. My thing is that was kind of awkward the way Gene just kind of like grabbed his vision, his desire driver. It sounds bad saying it that way too. It's like, and then Gene grabbed his desire driver. It's like, ugh, damn. Um, but yeah, the new form is not only fast, but it can manipulate gravity. Super OP. That's why I'm like, how is this like the power scaling going forward is going to be very awkward for forms. Um, a lot of fight sequences, a lot of thumbnail bait. Oof, so much thumbnail bait. Ace makes easy work of everybody, and I loved his rider kick. Everything else, I thought it was really good. Um, then one other plot point that's being moved forward, and another reveal from Michinaga, my boy Buffa, is you know Ace is confronting her now. He's like, "Give me that driver. Give me that vision driver. You're done. You got beat." Buffa shows up. You think he's protecting Baroba. He takes the vision driver from her. And I was like, okay. Another cool thing, uh, and interesting enough, we find because we know everyone can like kind of like Kakura chose an avatar form for when he was a human. Jean obviously picked a form. Baroba, that's not her true form. She's actually a 350 years old. So I'm like, that's crazy because we don't know how old Jean is. We don't know how old Kakura is or Kyun or anything like that. So I'm curious to see if we're going to at some point get a reveal for what their true forms are and if they're all from the same future era or not, or what, because that's another thing I'm intrigued by. Um, so Gene lets him keep his riser and says he's going to try and live life properly and not just in past eras. So I don't know if he's still going to watch on as a supporter or if he's going to go back to his time period. I'm not sure how easily they could just jump into their little pocket dimension to watch. I have so many questions. And lastly, we find out that it was Azuma's plan from the start to get the vision driver from Baroba. And he even said, "Hey, you told me to use you." And I was like, "Yeah, good point." And then he teleports himself to the goddess of creation. And I'm like, "But you need the other driver." And he was like, "I'll get the other driver and I'll get my world." And I'm like, why does he just wish for his friend back? Like, that would make things a lot easier, honestly. It was an interesting episode. I didn't hate it. Really good. The Gene stuff was actually worked for once. The action once again is always good. I just, man, they need. I need Kawa and Neon and everyone else to get some more screen time. It's more story stuff because now that Gene is gone, I'm hoping we can focus on everyone else. So it's not just the Ace and Gene, odd couple series that it's been for a while now. But I did enjoy it. It wasn't a bad episode. I'm still, like I said, I'm still enjoying the show. It was, I like the action's really good though. Like that's what's keeping me hooked, and a lot of scenes on how they're filming it. But let me know in the comments what you think. Like I said, I'm not theorizing about anything anymore. I'm just talking about the show. Like I don't theorize any. I'm not making any claims. But yeah, that's it. And before you go, I'm gonna show you guys because if you didn't see my tweets already, I'm wearing one of my new shirts that I just dropped, or well, my first shirt. I have two more that are going to be revealed. And if you made it this far, I'm going to show you the second shirt. So, yeah, let's do a little blue, and you can see the next shirt. All right. Boom. I know. Yeah. So, I'm a big fan of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And Phoebe, uh, artist here, I will tag on Twitter when I do the full post on Twitter, did an awesome job designing this. This came out so good. Don't worry about the nipple, okay? Like, listen, I got the AC going. It's a little chilly in here. Been warm in San Diego, but yeah, this came out so good. The shop is going live this Friday. I will have the big meaty kaiju's, uh, the beat, the Nago Beat versus the World shirt, as well as one other shirt that I didn't get the samples from, uh, because they accidentally got shipped to my mom's house on the other side of the country. But I did have a friend pick them up and show me via FaceTime, and I was like, "You keep those." And they looked amazing. So I'm excited to have all these go live this Friday. I will have links on Twitter as well as a community post about it. I thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, I think I'm like 55 subscribers away from 1,000. That is ridiculous. I still got the King Oger video that's going to go live. This Week in Candy Toys, the podcast. Got some other cool stuff and more manga as reviews coming up as well. With that being said, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.